Would you give up your freedom for luxury? One parrot did, and it changed his life forever. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest filled with chirping birds and whispering winds, there lived a beautiful green parrot. His feathers gleamed like polished emeralds, his beak was sharp and proud, and his eyes sparkled with life. Every morning, as dawn broke, the parrot would soar across the forest canopy, spreading his wings wide and letting the wind carry him high above the treetops. The fragrance of wildflowers mixed with the cool scent of dew, and he would sing, a song so melodious that even the breeze seemed to pause and listen. The animals adored him. The monkeys clapped from the branches, the deer stopped grazing just to watch him fly, and even the old wise owl would smile as the parrot's song filled the forest. The parrot often said to himself, "What a beautiful life I have. I am free, loved, and surrounded by nature." But as time went on, a thought began to grow in his heart, a thought born of vanity and restlessness. "Everyone in the forest knows me," he said one day, "but who beyond these trees knows my worth? If only I could live in a grand palace where kings and queens admired me. Then I would truly be special." He began to imagine the golden cages he had heard about, cages that gleamed in sunlight, filled with fruits, nuts, and mirrors for parrots to admire their own beauty. He dreamed of humans cheering when he spoke their words. Slowly, without realizing it, the parrot's gratitude for his freedom began to fade. One warm afternoon, as the forest lay silent under the sleepy sun, a hunter crept through the bushes. He was cunning and quiet, his eyes scanning the trees for any sign of movement. When his gaze fell on the radiant parrot, he whispered to himself, "What a magnificent bird. I'll take him to the royal palace. The king will pay me handsomely for this treasure." He carefully placed a net beneath the mango tree and scattered ripe guavas and mango slices inside it. The scent drifted upward, sweet and tempting. The parrot, perched above, saw the fruits and felt his stomach grumble. "Oh, what delicious food! Surely a few bites won't hurt." As he swooped down, he failed to notice the glimmering strings of the net. The moment he pecked at the fruit, snap, the net closed around him. He fluttered, screamed, and fought. But the more he struggled, the tighter the net became. "Let me go," he cried. "I belong to the forest." The hunter laughed softly. "Not anymore, little one. You'll live in luxury now. The king's palace awaits you." The next morning, the parrot found himself in a splendid palace. Everything glittered: marble floors, silver fountains, and walls painted with gold. His new cage was made of pure gold, adorned with gemstones. Sweet fruits were served in crystal bowls, and everyone admired his bright feathers and charming voice. Children would come running to hear him speak, and noble ladies would clap when he mimicked their laughter. For a while, the parrot enjoyed the attention. "This is what I always wanted," he thought proudly. "Everyone loves me now." Days turned into weeks, but soon the parrot began to notice something missing. The scent of rain, the sound of rustling trees, the freedom to fly wherever he wished. The world outside his golden cage seemed smaller each day. At night, he would look out the palace window and see the moon floating freely in the sky. He would whisper sadly, "The moon can roam the heavens, and I cannot even touch the clouds." He realized the bitter truth. He had traded his freedom for comfort, and in doing so, he had lost the very joy of being alive. One bright morning, the palace servant came to clean the cage. Humming to himself, he left the cage door slightly open while fetching water. The parrot's heart soars. The wind from the open window touched his feathers. It felt like a whisper from the forest, calling him home. "This is my chance," he said to himself. "Freedom never knocks twice." With all his strength, he flapped his wings and darted through the open door. The servant shouted, but the parrot was already gone, flying higher, faster, and freer than ever before. The sky welcomed him. The clouds seemed to dance around him as he cried out, "I am free! I am free again." When he reached his forest, the trees swayed as if clapping for his return. The monkeys jumped with joy, and the river sang softly nearby. The parrot perched on his favorite tree and gazed at the endless sky above. That day, he sang a new song, not of pride or beauty, but of truth and wisdom. No palace, no praise, no golden cage can replace the open sky and the wind's embrace. Freedom is life, and life is freedom. Moral of this story is that freedom is the greatest gift of all. You can have all the luxuries in the world, but without freedom, they are nothing more than chains made of gold.